Hey everybody, welcome to another KUIU Live event. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're getting great responses to these, so we're going to try to make it more of a regular scheduled event from here on out. If I can't host it because I'm traveling, we'll have others here at KUIU that step in. And really what I wanted to take the opportunity to do is on these events is talk a little bit about our products or a little bit about the materials or unique aspects of what goes into KUIU products, and share with you some of the research that I've done on these materials and really try to help educate you on what makes our product special, and then also open it up for a series of questions, whether it's this product specifically or whether it's in regards to the business or other products that are out there or other ideas or comments you guys want to share. I love answering the questions and I'm happy to do so. So type them in and we'll get to those throughout this live event. And as you see this, these two jars sitting here in front of me, it's pretty apparent. We're looking at down feathers. And when I created the KUIU business model, I really wanted to do that primarily so I had no limitations on what I could work, the materials or the suppliers or products of who I could work with, what I could work with, and what I could implement into our product line. So I had no limitations and we could work with only the best. And not all down, as some people may or may not know, if you haven't done the research, not all down's created equal. Yes, it all comes from a goose, but there's different areas within the world that produces higher quality, higher performance down. And in doing a lot of research on our down products prior to moving into our down program, originally with our super down jackets and pants, I discovered that Polish source down that not only comes from Eastern Europe, which is known for its higher premium quality down than just generally sourced Asian down that you can buy that's less expensive, but actually within Eastern Europe, Polish down is a higher quality product than any other down in the world. And it's really because of a couple different reasons. One's the climate. Geese obviously living in Poland, it's a colder climate. And then the goose in Poland is harvested at an older age. So the geese are able to mature to an older age and the down plumes are larger. And so we get a higher quality performing down plume by sourcing it in Poland. And we certify and test all of our down and make sure that it's meeting a minimum requirement of 850 plus fill power. And what is fill power? I received that question a lot. Really, what is it? And it's a cubic measurement of an ounce of down in a glass cylinder. And the higher the number, the loftier the plumes are. And I'll show you, I've got a couple of plumes here to show you the difference. And this is Polish source, and we only source white goose down, which is the premium of the premium. And you can, I don't know if you can see it here in the camera, Blaze, maybe you can zoom it in. This is an 850 plus fill power down plume. It's actually probably coming in at closer to 885 or 900 on this particular plume. And we also certify that it's a minimum of 95% down plumes with 5% feathers. You're always going to get a little bit of feathers included in with your down when you spec it, and we spec that a minimum of it is 95% down plumes. And this is another down plume. You can see the difference in size, quality, and the difference you get from a Polish goose, white goose, versus just a generally sourced down plume. And one of the things that you'll notice, if you can see it in the camera, I can see it clearly here, is the length of the feather plumes that come off this down feather. It almost looks like tentacles. And then if you look closely, within those tentacles, you're going to see other little barbs that come out. And you really may not be able to see it on the camera. But high quality, high performance down has all these attributes that you see in this down plume. And then not only did I do research and study where the best down in the world comes from, but also what's the difference in down processing. And I can go to a factory in Asia, spec a down product, spec 850 fill, and get what we call sourced, which meaning you're buying it from basically a down broker, 850 fill, and putting it in a jacket, but you have no idea of where the down came from and really who processed it. And there's a difference not only in down feathers, like I talked about, coming from Poland, but also how you process the down feather. And there's a facility in Japan called Kawada Feather, and I've been able to go out to the factory and meet with Mr. Kawada, who is the foremost leading expert in down feathers and also down feather certification and testing. And he has hand-built his processing equipment at Kawada Feather. He's also done a bunch of research on where he positioned his down processing factory based on the type of deionized water that he could access through a deep well, and then the perfect humidity to process feathers. And all of that's important to maximize the performance of a down feather from what I've learned from him. And there is a difference of what he can produce out of his facility versus what you can buy from generally sourced Asian down. And primarily it's keeping the integrity of the feather through his drying process. He is less invasive on the feathers. He can get them drier without burning the feather or scorching these tiny little ends of the feather, or burning and destroying the length of these plumes. So you're gonna get a more robust feather process there. The other aspect of high performance down is the cleanliness of the feather. And there's a lot of oils and dirt that are on these feathers when he gets into the processing plant. And he's developed a washing technique and chemicals that help his feathers get even cleaner than what you get out of a traditionally less expensive processing facility. And so you get a cleaner feather, you get a feather that went through the drying process with less damage to it due to heat and the tumbling that it goes through. And at the end of the day, you get a much higher performing down feather product. The downside to our down program and where we source the feathers, why we only spec white goose down from Poland and process it at Kawada Feather is the cost. And that's the benefit to our business model. I couldn't afford to make our down products with these feathers processed at Kawada Feather and bring it out at a price point that most could afford. And that's the advantage of the KUIU business model, is to be able to do the homework and research to find the best of the best of the best, and then source and spec those types of materials. And he's also taken nanotechnology, worked with Torii to develop a process that obviously waterproofs our down feathers. And there's other waterproofing down products that are out there, and other companies that offer waterproofing on the down feathers. One of the unique things about Torii and Kawada Feather is how much more durable and long-lasting and effective the waterproofing of their down feathers are. Just to give you an idea of down that hasn't been treated, you see in this jar, you've probably had these videos up for a while on showing regular down versus our Polish down treated with Torii's Kudos DWR by Kawada Feather. And what we're able to do with this process is solve all the problems we had in using down in the past, which was moisture. And down, because it's so compressible, because it's so light and warm, is a great insulator. Downside to it, obviously, is once down gets wet, not only does it quit holding its loft, but it takes an incredibly long time to dry. And unless you have a commercial type of dryer, your down jacket will stay wet, or your down sleeping bag will stay wet. And with what we developed with Torii and their DWR process, we're able to keep our down feathers dry, even when they've been totally saturated. You see that blow around. We've actually, it was pretty interesting, we had in our trade show display, we have this same setup. And last year, after we went to unpack for our trade shows this year, and we had forgotten to empty out these jars, and there was a jar of these feathers that had sat in there for almost a year. And they functioned and looked and performed just like they do here today. I mean, it's just an amazing technology and innovation in the down that's really opened up the doors for us to use down products again in hunting and wet climates, and really reduce the weight of our insulation products within our system and increase the performance. And my goal today was just to share with you a little bit about down, a little bit about the advantages to our down feathers versus what we could purchase if we didn't care to do the research and buy the best down in the world from the best processor, and that there is a difference. Cost is the biggest prohibitor, and why KUIU is the only brand that in our market that uses these types of feathers at this quality and performance. And then something else we do with all of our down products is we've gone to IDFL, which is an independent company that certifies down and also certifies our temperature rating for our sleeping bags. And it's not a requirement that we do it, but we've gone out and we've independently had all of our down certified. And we've also had our sleeping bags and their temperature rating certified, which isn't a requirement in the United States. It is in Europe. And a lot of people get in our sleeping bags and they tell us how warm they sleep, and it's because they're certified to the down rating that we offer. We're not required to that. Other companies can make a general estimate of how warm their sleeping bags are rated, and they're not required to certify it. And typically what you'll get from our sleeping bag versus another sleeping bag that hasn't been certified is a warmer sleeping bag. And that's in my opinion, an important aspect to our bags and what we offer is the certification. Because most companies will cut back on the installation, especially down because it's so expensive to put in the bags. And that's why they sleep cooler versus ours. So something to take note within our product lines. So this year we've updated our Super Down program to, a lot of you are aware, and I know a lot of people have purchased this, the new Ultra Down jacket that we introduced a lighter weight, 12 denier fabric, and then it's been treated with a different type of downproofing. Instead of a coating, which is typically put on the fabrics, which is really scratchy and noisy, we have to coat the fabrics to keep the down feathers from coming through. Toray developed a new process where they add heat to the face of the fabric and slightly melt the fabric to create the downproofness. And what we get out of that is a softer, better performing fabric. And also limits the weight of the fabric because there's no coating on the actual fabric. And we made some adjustments in design on the Ultra Down, and we were able to take a really light product that was around 10 or 11 ounces and drop it all the way down to 6 and 7 ounces on our Super Down program. And we didn't give up any performance, the same amount of down, it wears as warm, and we're able to significantly reduce the weight on this by almost 40%. So that's been a nice update and addition in fabric technology from Toray that we're able to apply to our Super Down program in the new Super Down Ultra. We've had a lot of requests for a Super Down product that was warmer than what we offered as a mid-layer with Super Down or now Super Down Ultra. And this is a new product we're releasing this month. Some of you have seen it on Giru. Some of the people that bought it through Giru already have this product. We're getting rave reviews on it. But it was for a warmer, more robust down jacket and pant. And that's what you're going to find in the Super Down Pro. It has 5 ounces of our premium Polish QUIX down in it, which is twice that of what we have in the Super Down Ultra. And then we cut it so it's a bigger fit, and we used a more durable, heavier denier outer fabric. And on the pants, we used the same outer fabric, and we even increased the durability on the knees and the seat. So it can be worn as outerwear. It's going to be more durable, and it's going to be better for colder climates and conditions. You can throw it over the top the way it's cut of your other gear if you're sitting behind glass or in really cold weather conditions where you need to layer up into that piece. And this is coming out this month. I've tested it on several different cold hunts that I've done, and it's awesome. And the amazing thing about this jacket, it still only weighs 17 ounces. And so weight-wise, it still compresses down. You're getting a lot of warmth out of a mere 17 ounces with the Super Down Pro. So take a look at this for your fall hunts. It's something you're absolutely going to want to add to your kit, and it's going to give you a wider range. Blaze, do you have video or pictures of the Kawada Feather processor? So we had, 2 years ago, I was in Japan and visited Kawada Feather processing plant and asked if we could have access to shoot photos and shoot video of that facility. And it's something they hadn't allowed before because of a lot of his proprietary technology around his equipment that he custom built. He wasn't comfortable sharing. But I asked him if there's any way we get in and show our customers part of the Kawada facility and Mr. Kawada and how he does his processing. And it's a really, really amazing place. And the amount of research and that he's put into perfecting and understanding the best way to possibly process the down feather, which is such Japanese culture. We were able to go in and view and shoot a documentary film about the process. And Blaze, it looks like you're pulling up some pictures.
Yeah, I've got here's the lab.
So lab and full-blown testing facilities. The other thing he's done is, he is the leading expert on how to test feathers, new testing protocol, and IDFL relies on Mr. Kawada for all of that information to certify what they do. So we're working with a foremost expert in down. And you can see me standing next. This is one of the big, huge facilities that dries the feathers. And it's got these glass windows, and it's essentially a huge tumble dry machine that spins the feathers around for a long period of time until they're perfectly dry.
Same thing here.
You can see the feather processors behind me there in the photos. And really, we do a lot of business with Japanese products. And the reason why the Japanese are able to produce such amazing innovation, such amazing product is their culture. I mean, there's ways to cut corners and deliver a pretty good product. The Japanese refuse to ever cut corners. They are traditionally, the samurai sword's my best example. There's a lot of easier ways, quicker ways to make a samurai sword. There's only one way to make a samurai sword, and you see that through, products that come out of Japan. Their process is unlike anything else, any other supplier in the world, where it's a process that's set in place, and they will never take a shortcut to save money or to deliver something that isn't absolutely perfect. And it's why our fabrics and materials lead the industry and lead the world, and it's also why our down feathers perform better than any other down feathers you can possibly buy. The challenge in dealing with the Japanese products are costs, because they're always more expensive, and then they usually have lengthy lead times because of this arduous process they have before they'll actually release the product. But it's what makes our products great, and they're always innovating. So we get to have that as part of what we get to take to market, is the Japanese culture and their perfection around products and details. Do you have that short video you wanted to play, Blaze? So we're going to be releasing this month a documentary film around Kawada Feather that interviews Mr. Kawada, and I think we have a short trailer I'd love for Blaze to play for you really quick. And then we'll get into answering questions.
Why I study so much about down? Because I have interest in the down very much. If I know everything, I can make better than before.
All right. Blaze, do we know when we're going to release that?
Wednesday.
Oh, we're releasing it Wednesday. Glad I know. So take a look at it. It's really cool. Blaze did an amazing job of filming and editing. And yeah, the inside of this thing's cool. You guys are going to love it. Let's dive into some questions.
Let's do it.
What do you have, McCade?
So this one came in on Instagram from NeverPC, and he asked, what is the best way to clean the sleeping bags without screwing them up?
That's a good question. The best way to wash down is not to wash it. We recommend, if you have to wash your down products, to wash it in a light detergent. You can. I do launder my down products, and then when I do tumble dry it, I'll put a tennis ball or a couple rolled up things of socks to help really circulate in the dryer to re-fluff and loosen up the down from being in tight clusters from being wet. But we always recommend, unless you have to wash your down products, try not to. But when you do, make sure you tumble dry it with something in there with a dryer to re-loft the down.
Awesome. Another Instagram question came in from Dad of 3, and he asked, is the old Super Down fill different from the new Super Down Ultra?
It's not. It's the exact same fill amount, exact same fill power, exact same feathers spec'd. The only difference is the baffling and then the fabric, and then we did some slight tweaks on the design to make it just a lighter weight piece.
Awesome. And this one came in from Facebook, from Dylan Paget. And he asked, is QUIX Down used in the Super Down sleeping bags?
It absolutely is. Same down we talked about today, same water treatment, and it's what makes our sleeping bags so warm and so great.
Awesome. This one we've actually got a lot.
Great.
This one was an Instagram question from Mono Deauville, and they asked, will you ever make Super Down quilts?
It's a good question. I've used quilt in the past. Obviously, we believe in a mummy bag because of the efficiency when the weather changes quickly on you, which we experience. If we get enough requests for quilts, it's something we can certainly take a look at. Again, these kind of outlier type of products, I'm open for if I know there's enough demand to support a program to go into production on. So those of you that would like to see us develop a quilt, please email in customer service and put in that request. I get to look at all of your requests and ideas that come through. So please let me know. We certainly could do it.
Awesome. Another one from John Gardner asked, when would you recommend the Super Down Ultra versus the Super Down Pro?
It's really a temperature choice and the type of hunt you're going to do and when you're going to do it and what you're looking for out of your installation. For backpack hunts, summer hunts, elk hunts, for me, I'm using the Super Down Ultra. For colder season hunts, October's November hunts, or up north in like a moose hunt, I'm bringing the Super Down Pro. because of the extra warmth, because it is significantly warmer. Not only is it twice the amount of down, but the heavier fabric and the cut, it wears warm, not even more than just twice as warm as the Ultra Down. So that's really my suggestion on that.
Perfect.
Good questions.
This one came in a couple times actually, and people are wanting you to compress both the Down, Super Down Pro and the Ultra, show the packability.
Sure. So, may or may not be aware, we have set these jackets up so you can compress them into their own pockets. I think we did that on the Super Down Pro, if I remember right. So, bear with me, and I'll do this for you. We're about to check this size comparison. Putting me to work, McCade. All right.
James Reese is asking, do you
Yeah.
recommend storing the jacket that way when not in use?
Yeah, I don't recommend storing it like this when it's not in use. We always recommend hanging it. You want to keep the feathers being compressed and keep the loft on the feathers, just like we do with your sleeping bags. You don't want to store it in the stuff sack. I'm going to fight the zipper on this, but you can see the size difference. There isn't a lot of size difference, and you're looking at 17 ounces versus under 7. So about a 10 ounce difference, still incredibly compressible.
Awesome. We've got time for a couple more.
We got time for as many more as you want. What's coming
good.
in?
Awesome. Chuck Kendrick from Instagram asked, how much water can the Ultra Down take?
It's not a rain shell, but the fabric on the outside is treated with DWR, and the feathers are obviously as well. It can take quite a bit of water. I'd still recommend, if it's raining, put a shell over the top of it. You want to protect your down. You want to keep it dry, even though our feathers can't get wet. You just don't want to risk moisture getting into your Super Down products, because it isn't rain gear. I wouldn't wear it as rain gear for sure.
Awesome.
But it's really, really water resistant.
Chip Bell asked, when does the Super Down Pro come out?
It comes out mid-October. The shipment is, I believe it's arriving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's here.
I think it's this week, actually.
It's coming in this week. We'll inbound it. We'll get up on the site, start shipping. And the goal was by mid-October. So typically got a limited amount on this order to open. So if it's something you want, don't wait. Certainly don't wait for the holiday season. It won't go on sale. I don't know how much inventory, how much of this inventory is going to last. So jump on it.
Awesome. A question we've been getting asked a lot. The hats that Ben and Todd have been wearing.
Yes.
When are those going to be coming out?
I don't have the exact release date on those. I know they're in development, and I know they're going to come out. It'll be after the first of the year, certainly by springtime. We're going to have a whole different range, a whole additional range of hats. You're going to see our first flex fit hat that comes out this holiday season, and a range of camouflage and more colors on flex fit. I know I've had that request for a while for people that like the flex fit hit or bigger, deeper heads that guys have. And so you're going to see a larger range of hats coming out this spring, and including those.
Perfect. Brickyard Bill asked, what is the best pant to wear for early winter temperatures?
The guide pant or the Chinook. I just hunted elk in Montana in the Chinook pant. We had really cold, wet, windy conditions. It's a fantastic pant for that. If it got colder than that, or if I was hunting in October, November, I'd probably go into the guide pant and then put on our base layers underneath. Both are great choices.
Perfect. Another pant question from
Yeah.
James J. Reese. He asked, elk hunt base camp pant recommendation.
Not knowing exactly the time of year, assuming it's a September, I'm either hunting in the Alpine or the Attack on that hunt. If you're base camping, then I'll bring 2 pants. I'll bring one for colder temperatures like the Chinook or the Guide, and bring the Attack or the Alpine.
Awesome. Elk Tracker 84 asked, which temperature bag is your go-to bag?
I primarily go to the 30-degree bag, primarily because I'm backpack hunting. I have Super Down Ultra jacket, Super Down Ultra pant, And my layering system, I'll layer up and down within how I sleep within that bag, so I can get colder temperatures out of 30 degree. If it's a later season hunt, I know the temperature's gonna be really cold, and I may look at the 15 or 0, but I'm primarily in the 30 degree bag.
Awesome. Joseph.Lundberg19 asked, will you guys ever offer a super down insulated coat with a rain shell?
Super down insulated coat with a rain shell. Potentially. I believe in the flexibility and versatility of a layering system, and if you build a shell with down in it, now it's not as compressible. It really limits that product of what it can and can't be used for, versus putting on our Ultra Down or Super Down Pro and putting a shell over the top. Basically functions the same way. Now you have amazing versatility depending on what you're doing. But it's something that we may develop in the future, but not top of the list right now.
Perfect. Lee Cleanow from Instagram asked, Jason, can you compare the Super Down Pro to the Kenai insulated jacket in terms of noise?
Well, the Kenai is really, really quiet, if not dead quiet. And so if you're looking for an installation solution that's quiet, the Kenai is, absolutely the choice. It's not going to be quite as light, not going to be quite as compressible, and it's not going to be quite as warm as the Down, especially with the way the Kenai is made. It's made for maximum breathability with uncoated outer fabric, so that it is quiet, and because of the insulation properties, we can do that, which makes it really unique, what we call active insulation. And so you can wear it for a wider range of conditions. Like I lived in it on my elk hunt, but again, it's not going to be quite as warm in windy, cold, wet conditions like Down. Good questions.
Awesome. I think we got time for, let's do 2 more.
Let's do 2 more.
Sounds good.
Make sure they're good ones. They're all good so far.
They are good.
Yeah.
Facebook question. Riley Ann Maxwell asked, does the exterior of the Super Down rip or tear easily?
So the Super Down's a 12, Super Down Ultra, the new jacket is a 12 denier fabric, which is light. Again, it's a Toray quality product, so you're going to get reasonable durability and tear strength out of a mere 12 denier fabric that's this light because of the quality of the fabric. But we always recommend as a mid-layer piece, and wearing it as an outer layer jacket, which you can do on casual wear, but if you're going through brush or timber, we always recommend putting something over the top of it because you can and will tear it, especially the pants and the jacket as well. Super Down Pro has a more durable outer fabric and will certainly be much more durable and tear resistant.
Okay, last one from Facebook. Brett Sumter, asked, will you ever offer more gear in neutral earth tone colors?
We are, and look for more solids. In the past, we've been really limited on our inventory dollars to buy solid products. As the company's grown and we've gotten a much stronger inventory position over the last 12 months, you're going to see a lot more solids rolling in. You'll see, a range of solids, some of them more mainstream type products and some blacks that you've seen so far, but also we'll always offer a really nice range and a better range and selection of neutral mid-tone colors that you can hunt in for sure. Absolutely.
Perfect. Great questions today.
Great stuff. So hope answered some questions or was able to share and add some value on the Down products today. If you have topics that you guys would like me to cover in the future, please let us know on Facebook or Instagram or email them in, and I will make sure I cover them. I'm here for you guys. I want to answer questions, want to help you, have as much trust as possible in the products we do and how I do business and why we use certain things like our Down that comes from Poland, processed in Kawada Feather, treated with nanotechnology, and why it's different, because I think that's important. It's obviously important to me, and I believe it should be important to our customers as far as the gear they choose and trust. And I'm here for you guys to answer any questions and give us ideas and information you'd like us to share or educate you on, and I'll absolutely do it. I can't thank everybody enough for tuning in and taking the time to learn more about KUIU and for me to share some ideas and thoughts around things we do here and why.